Hello, everyone. Welcome
Welcome.
to episode 73 of Press Any Key.
We're getting up there.
We are
Gonna
kind of
make
like an
100.
old dog. Getting up there.
We're a 10-year-old dog at this point.
Just wants to be put down. He's got dysplasia in his hips.
Now we're getting dark, buddy.
Starting off the episode right. So everyone, Nick is back from Vietnam.
I'm here.
He's back at his stint in the VA hospital.
Turns out when you lose a limb, you can catch staph really easily.
Yeah, my physical therapy is not going too great.
Use your mental therapy.
Even worse.
Turns out if you drop a book, Nick starts screaming. Anyway. Oh, man. What a way to start, huh?
Dead dogs in Vietnam.
Are you going to do the whole reason we have the camera resolving over here so you could say like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing? Follow us on
there
every
you go. Hey, thanks
platform.
so much for joining us. I'm your host. With me is always my co-host, Mike Burke, Nick McFly,
And cousin Kevin.
cousin Kevin. Yeah, if you're enjoying the show at all or not, leave us a comment, share, like. If you're listening to this on any of the major podcast apps, go ahead and leave us a review, even if it's a negative one, because that shit still helps the algorithm.
It does.
Even if you don't like us, help us out.
Help us out. It's true. Don't like.
Don't like. I hate it. 1 star.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, anyway. We got some shit to talk about this week.
Oh,
We got some stuff going on.
We do. So first up, some Star Wars news. Everybody's favorite. Okay?
We're all excited.
Because there's no one who hates Star Wars more
Star
than Star Wars
news
fans.
is never bad.
Star Wars news has never been bad, ever, right, Nick?
Only a Sith deals in such absolutes.
Okay, but the irony behind that line. So, this article came up from the Direct, I believe it is called.
Mm-hmm.
It says that they have an inside scoop, an exclusive pretty much, on what Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2's new title is. They are working on a sequel to Fallen Order because, believe it or not, they actually EA made a good Star Wars game, even though they just basically copied Dark Souls. But either way,
Look, it doesn't matter. It's good. We're going to take what we can get.
you've played some of it.
Yeah, I played about half of it.
How far are you?
I'm about 4 hours in at this point.
Okay. I played it when it came out, and I loved it. I think it's a great game. The only thing I didn't like was that it was kind of short, and that I didn't feel like there was too much replayability. But, I mean, we're going to go back and we're going to replay it because we want to have a reference for when this comes out.
I kind of, how, do you remember how long it took you to beat it?
Oh, God, I don't know.
One of the things here says it's like 15 to 20 hours, which, whatever. Some people are like, my initial playthrough is that. Are you pulling up Steam?
No.
Checking out your in-game
Steve,
time?
I mean, I could, but...
I know. I kind of agree. From what I've played, I'm going to go back and finish it, obviously, but I really...
About 17 hours.
Okay, yeah. So 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Right in the dead center.
Yeah, right in the middle.
I kind of got that impression. I was like, when I beat this, it's like well, that's the thing. Like, you can kind of do like slightly different builds, right? However you want to build out your skill tree, but...
Do I have Steam on my...
Do
I
you?
know I have Steam on my phone, so let me just check real quick. But keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like those other kind of games where it's like, I'm going to be, a mage, or I'm going to do, big weapons or small weapons or daggers. It's just like kind of like you're playing and you have a little bit of different skills as you level up, and that's it.
Yeah, it's more focused on like, it's like Dark Souls in the sense of like where the meditation areas are like the bonfires, and you kind of go through like a labyrinth of enemies type of thing. Other than that, it kind of just stops there because it's really not about builds and how you want to play the game. It's about being a Jedi.
It's about the story. Like, the story is much more important than a Dark Souls story.
Yeah, and for people who have played it, just so you know, I did not like the ending, but these guys don't know the ending yet, so I don't want to ruin it for them.
Don't tell me.
Don't spoil
But
it.
anyway, I'm changing it. Anyway, so the rumored title for Jedi Fallen Order 2 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which confirms that they're going to be hunting Cal Kestis down more so.
More than before.
Yeah, except here's my problem with where they're taking this. There is no plot resolution that is going to be satisfying because unfortunately Star Wars loves to write themselves in 30 years of canon, and that's it. And for whatever reason, like you watch the end of this game when I thought it was
Hype music for it.
That was my bad. I apologize.
so the end of the last game I didn't like because they literally couldn't do what they set out to do because of the lore of Star Wars. Like you can't just
They
go
were
back.
limited?
Oh yeah. Whereas in this one, if it's gonna go the way I think it's gonna go, there's no fucking way that that it ends well for any of the characters. Like it can't.
Right, because everybody dies.
Yeah, because the Empire's still around.
Right, yeah.
So
Okay.
and it's very early on in the Empire's reign.
You mean like Rogue One? It was just like, hope you like these characters for this 2-hour period.
They're all gonna blow up.
Kind of, but no.
I did like Rogue One. I had a fun time. I have a few big gripes with it, but I mean, overall, it's one of the better Disney Star Wars movies.
I just don't like how they said it was going to be the Saving Private Ryan of Star Wars movies. And I was
Did
like,
they say that?
Yes, they did.
Woof.
And
I mean, out of all the Star Wars movies, it was.
You just see some
but that's
stormtroopers
a-
like holding their guts.
that's what I'm saying.
on the
That's a
beach.
pretty brash representation of like that is the most accurate representation of World War II.
This might be the most accurate representation of a Star Wars battle. We don't know.
Yeah, but either way, Saving Private Ryan, that movie was not. So here's like what I guess like this is like kind of what their scoop was. The basic premise of the first Fallen Order, yada yada yada, the holocron at the first end of the game. Oh wait, this will spoil the shit out of everything
Yeah,
for you
how about
guys.
we don't?
So
How about we don't do
maybe we
this?
don't do that. Either way though, this is what the supposed title is. Cool. Hope it's a good game though.
This is so weird. The dude asked people to guess the new title on Twitch, and then one user, Colonel Sanders 21, guessed the title Survivor, and then he went on and confirmed it. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
I guess that's how we're doing things now.
Just like, hey, let's put up a poll on Twitch. What do you guys think this should
other
be
thing-
named?
The other thing is too that they might
Didn't they do that for No Way Home?
what?
They put out a bunch of like possible names and had people guess which was the real one.
I don't know. I don't know about
I
that.
think they did that.
Well, I will say this: they did change.
so.
They have changed the name. Disney's changed the name of movies and games
Like, yeah.
while in production because Zoe Saldana said that while she was when she was doing the press tour for Infinity War, she said, "Yeah, we're actually about to go finish up scenes for Gauntlet." Because originally Avengers Endgame was supposed to be Avengers Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
However, they thought that's a stupid title and they changed it to Endgame.
I kind of just
Sure.
I like Gauntlet on its own. That would be pretty cool. It's got a double meaning.
Gauntlet. I just think of the old like cabinet arcade game Gauntlet. We played it at one of. Did we play it at the
I don't
thing for
know.
your birthday? There was one of them.
We played Simpsons.
We
That's
played
for sure.
Simpsons. We beat Simpsons.
We played Rock Band, and that was a debacle.
Let's play Rock Band while there's blaring music overhead.
Fucking assholes.
I should get headphones or something.
I can't hear "Don't Fear the Reaper" over all this trap music.
I don't know. I like that. I like that place. I like
it was
River
cool.
City
It was
Gaming,
cool.
but the thing is just like those guys
Don't
have
have Rock
so
Band.
many like illegal setups and
Oh yeah,
Quote unquote. I don't think you don't have to be like a registered arcade and be like,
no, but like there is licensing involved and like
well, yeah.
Nintendo is definitely not going to be a fan of all that emulation.
I don't think Nintendo's going after like the small
mom and pop
mom
gaming.
and pop raw way. While
Have you
they're
guys ever
blaring
met a
trap
Nintendo
music.
lawyer?
I have. Yeah, that's well, I haven't, but I know. But
Very litigious.
right.
Lawyer Mario.
I didn't play that game.
That's the game that I want to
Been
play.
separating families through the litigation system for years.
It's just a bunch of Goombas doing like paralegal work, like stressed.
All right, let's talk this game out. How are we developing Lawyer Mario?
Okay, so-
first of all, he's a divorce lawyer because that
Oh.
is the most satisfying.
Yeah, and this
litigation
is
there
like a dark, grizzled kind of like he's
jaded by the
he's
legal system.
jaded.
He and Peach are now divorced.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course, and he won it all because he's the lawyer. You know, he knows
Is Bowser
all.
a politician?
He had a better lawyer.
In this?
Oh, I like that.
He's a judge.
He's a
Oh,
that's
Judge
even
Bowser?
better.
Yeah.
I want Birdo to be the judge because I don't want her to
Bailiff Birdo.
she just shoots eggs at people.
Yep.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, the jury is just all a bunch of like Koopas and little Goombas, and
I like
Everybody
that.
there?
I like that.
What's Luigi doing?
Luigi's dead in this universe.
Oh my god!
Part of Mario's jaded.
And
Was he killed by Daisy?
No,
and that's
dude.
why he's the divorce lawyer.
Wario it ran away with Peach.
No, Wario's a crime lord.
Okay, fair enough. What's Waluigi doing then?
God, he's a janitor at the courthouse.
Yeah, not bad.
In,
not bad.
in every universe, he's still just put down.
I definitely want like Donkey Kong to be the defense attorney, and it's like they cut to him and he's just like,
How did they?
like,
how did-
I rest
point.
my case.
remember
really
how?
funny.
Remember how he used to sound, and then when they changed like his like.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's what he used to sound
Brother.
like. But what did he sound like now? Like what is it? No, that's Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Had the voice actor
hold
of
on.
Scooby-Doo.
Hold on. I need to find
They're very similar.
Donkey Kong the way he. Hold on.
I don't remember. I haven't played. I didn't play Tropical Freeze. I haven't played a Donkey Kong game. Literally, I haven't heard him talk since like Super Smash, and where he's just like, he'd do his taunt, and he's like, oh,
Donkey Kong.
how does modern Donkey Kong sound.com?
Yeah, you guys, there's a channel on YouTube that does like the evolution of all those characters' voices.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I think I have it. It's gonna be a fucking ad first. I
Oh,
bet.
is it by Adam's own Top Marks?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Super Mario Evolution of Donkey Kong's voice, 1981 to present.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely recommend those videos.
The folks at Mini Mario.
Nope.
What is happening?
Where's that?
You're old ass Donkey Kong, right? No, that's Smash, right?
You should have some. Here we go. There's no battle cry or anything? What is this? Why is it the one time I need to hear Donkey Kong's voice I can't get it?
Oh, I forgot Seth Rogen is playing Donkey Kong. In
Yeah.
The,
Like that's. All right. Either way, though, he sounds like a fucking asshole. Is my point.
All right, I found the audio. There's an ad.
Of course there is.
Fucking, and it's one of those Evany games that Danny wrote about.
have you?
They're coming for us.
I gotta find.
Here it is. This is how Donkey Kong sounds now.
I know exactly what this.
Yeah.
It's our boy.
So when he says that in court, the Judge Wario is, or who's the judge?
Bowser.
Judge Bowser.
Okay.
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 Oh.
Anyway,
Oh. All right. Anyway, yeah. Whatever.
If you want to see this game made, let us know.
Yeah, because we'll put it together.
we'll get a GoFundMe going.
All right. Newgrounds still has spots open.
I will find an old version of Adobe Flash and I will make this thing.
All right. So moving on from that debacle,
What was the original topic?
something
Fallen
with
Order.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
So we watched the first half of this while
Waluigi.
before we started the show, and this is like the gameplay demo for Batman, or not Batman. I guess it's just Gotham Knights
Gotham
because
Knights.
Batman's not in the game.
Yeah, where you gonna be? He's gonna be in
He's
the
gonna
game.
be in the game.
It's
There's
in the
no way he's
Batman
dead.
verse.
There's no way he's dead. Well, that's the story. Is that apparently he's dead
From the
And-
last Arkham game.
No,
right?
this
This
is
is
in
a separate.
different continuity. Yeah, which awesome, great idea. That's
Sure.
what everybody wanted.
Like even
right?
though it's like they probably just ripped a bunch of assets from Arkham.
It doesn't look like it because it does look different than the last Arkham game.
They took
So-
some stuff.
Okay, so
I know.
it's a different studio.
It doesn't mean, hey, can we get a flash drive with some of that shit? Do you mind?
So I'll just go ahead and I'll start playing it from where we left off. Uh-oh.
Tracking his next story mission.
Cracking his neck.
And like so I guess this is how they're showing you the map. And now the other question you asked before is that like about the combat and gameplay. The reason the gameplay looks so jank. Oh, by the way, this is one of those games.
Oh, there's crafting and
Yeah, but it's not live service and there's no microtransactions.
yeah.
So you just
until
pick
you
up-
pre-order the game and then you get the game of the year edition.
I wanted
and
to
then
show you that stuff too. Yeah, that stuff looks hilarious. So,
So you just get different
a
suits, and then
lot
you,
of people.
Damn, he looks big.
Wait till you see his fucking character model, dude. It's absolutely insane.
use the workbench, get him bigger.
So, yeah, this is Dick Grayson right now. But so one of the things that a lot of people don't like is that they got rid of the rhythm-based free flow combat from the Arkham games, which was absolutely perfect. And we always talk about how good that combat system is. Like, hold on, I'll get back to that. That's what Dick Grayson looks like, and he looks like Dick Grayson. Fair enough, you know.
That cowl looks like.
Look at Jason Todd,
Oh my
though.
God.
What a fucking tank!
Look at this.
You could visit him.
Look at this.
I could what? He went to your.
I could what?
Duh, where's the bat?
Like, wait till he turns around, see his face in the light. Like, dude, why did they make him a hulking monster? He was supposed to
They
be a
needed some
former
different-
Robin.
They needed
Yeah,
different
no.
character models. That's why.
He's on HGH. That's like what happened.
His heart is the size of his head.
That's why he's so big. But yeah, when you were showing the like combat system before, it looked like very slow, very unfluid, kind of just like
clunky. Also,
kind of clunky, just
So-
beating people up.
there's been a couple complaints going around about how like he's basically got the Fortnite glider and like
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
and how you guys saw how Red Hood gets around the city where he's basically jumping on magical pads.
That
Where
was-
we dropping, boys?
So-
That's weird.
Here's my deal. I get that they had to give them a way to transport them around the city, but what happened to grappling hooks and capes? Like, that's what the Bat family is like good at.
Or what if you just had one character that didn't go on rooftops? Like he had to travel on.
Yeah, that's
land.
true too.
Take a subway.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, I mean, I get it that if you want to like
I
differentiate,
got my Huffy out front.
I get if you're trying to like differentiate it, and it's like you don't want to just do like, hey, this is what we took from like the Batman games.
Hey,
with
we
the
don't want
cape,
to do
the
Arkham
grapple.
again, yeah.
You want to like, and you want to make the characters feel unique as opposed to like a reskinned Batman, basically.
Yeah.
But still,
That's what we want.
you're not wrong.
So they did bring stealth back. It doesn't look like they're bringing back Detective Vision though.
I was gonna say it doesn't seem like anything with that.
So I mean, whatever. It's cool. Detective Vision was criticized because it took away all the colors of the game, and like some people complained that it made it too easy. But whatever, I liked it. But fuck those
That's what
people.
really matters.
Yeah.
Kid
If
Pat
Pat
liked
liked it.
I do like how they bring some of the detective elements back though, like how you're analyzing blood and trails and stuff like that, and then like you have to follow that trail to where like there's hidden mechanisms as it seems, and
that-
you gotta
like,
follow
That
the
looks
power
like Detective
line
Vision.
I was
to
gonna
me.
say it's Detective Vision without like
without the blue
people.
yeah, without the blue everywhere. So the combat still looks fun though, and I feel like it looks so jank because they're always trying to showcase the specials. And like the thing about specials is that you have to wait for the opportunity to use them. That's what makes them special.
Right.
And this time they're just holding goons in place until they get the opportunity to use it and show off like the cool finishers
You're just
and
like
stuff.
forcing a special.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's what kind of takes away from what makes it awesome in this sense.
Also, there's like the camera's a bit weird. Like when you see they were fighting, like it was really zoomed out. Like,
Honestly, I'm happy about that.
You like
they
that?
pull out so you can see what's going on. That's no different from the Arkham games though. Like when
That's
you
a
were just
big, like it's to that extent though.
oh yeah, like when you're fighting 12, 15 guys, it pulls out for sure.
Like this is fine right
when you're
here, but
fighting 15 guys, you gotta pull.
You gotta
out.
pull out.
I was waiting for it. So it's gonna be like people are saying it's a lot more like an RPG, like with all of the elements of like upgrades and crap, like all of that kind of additional thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also transmogging too, which I really like.
Transmogging.
You said a word that I don't know.
Transmogs is basically like you get to keep the stats of the gear but change the way it looks to wherever you want.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
So,
That's the only reason I care about the way a character looks.
yeah, exactly. I like as opposed to Cyberpunk where like your character looks like they don't know how to dress because you're wearing the most powerful gear
Yeah,
you have.
it's the classic
and
like
none of it
look
goes
good
together.
or perform well.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if you're wearing like a diaper and a big pot on your head.
let me solo her.
a die.
A die.
A die.
For anybody wondering how this fight looks with Red Hood, check this
That's what I was wondering.
Check
Yeah,
this
that's
shit
really
out.
all I could think about.
Also, the fact that they say that he has non-lethal guns.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing is like I'm part of the Bat family, so I can't kill anybody.
He's destroying these people.
I like that slide move. That was cool.
Bloodhound step.
Bloodhounds. I'm trying to find the.
Red Hood takes on a
Is that Captain America?
Yeah.
He's got his shield looking like that.
Cap, is that you?
No, it's Black Panther.
Oh, my bad.
It's Black Adam.
Oh, there are parries like this, or what's the? Do you know what that like red
these are
focus is
fucked
around
up.
there?
That might be unblockable attacks
Oh, okay.
or unparryable.
Yeah. And I saw like there's a thing where it's like you can turn on enemy health meters, you can turn it off. So there's a lot of like versatility as
just
to what
took
you
a-
want your interface to look like.
Yeah.
Which this is a really like sparse interface right now. There is like nothing going on the screen.
Yeah, which is after playing Elden Ring, it's the way I like it.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I think it's just really interesting. This guy's going.
Oh yeah, he's going for it.
It does look like a cool game though. Don't get me wrong. Like
It does look cool. I just feel like this was definitely showcased on a last gen build, and that's why it looks like crap. And I feel like they tried to focus too much on showcasing the specials of the combat, as opposed to just showing us how wild the combat can get. You know what I mean?
which is weird because the specials in the combat here are really janky. Oh, he blew up.
Like, yeah, he was trying to showcase that you can throw a grenade on that motherfucker and then shoot him.
Right. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Comes out in October, right?
Yeah. Turns out I'll actually be back from vacation that day,
Ooh.
so I can get it.
Damn it. Now Mike and I can't play it by ourselves.
We can't beat it in one day by ourselves without Pat.
So that's pretty much. That was the gameplay. Now let me just show you guys.
I feel like that game sucked all the energy out of us.
We're gonna take a quick 10-minute break.
Be back. No, so like here's what comes in the deluxe edition, and like look at this. These are the Batman Beyond style suits.
Cool.
And everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?"
that looks like the Terminator from the
I was
newest.
about to
Yeah.
say that
What?
is a straight
But
up
look at-
Terminator face.
Why do they have lips though? You know what I mean? Like, how does this armor work that it goes up to their lips? You know what I mean?
latex?
Yeah. I mean, Red Hood looks okay. Nightwing looks okay.
You call him Redhead?
yeah, Redhead,
My
Firecrotch.
boy Redhead.
Firecrotch looks okay. But Batgirl and Robin, they look rough. And then like you get these transmogs, which are the classic suits,
Right.
And everyone was like, "Well, why the fuck didn't you just start with those?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
why they wouldn't be like your number one.
exclusive color waves, so you can color these costumes different styles and
Get
stuff.
out of here.
So once again, it's
Mike,
one of
is
those
that
things
enough?
where
None
I'm
of that.
like, why didn't you just do this all from the start and there wouldn't have been an issue? You know?
Who cares? Like I like that kind of stuff for like pre-ordering games and shit where you like it's just like you can change the color of your suit.
If-
I'm like, ugh.
It feels good to like have the pre-order deluxe stuff dangled in front of you again, as opposed to like there is no pre-order exclusives and it's all like microtransactions. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in 2012 again.
That's a good point.
Ooh,
You know, the theme of the episode, throwing it back like my back.
chuck it back.
Anyway,
Chuck it back and pull out. That's what come out of the Gotham
there is
Knights.
more. We do have more Batman news though. I haven't listened to Batman Unburied yet. I don't know anything about it. However, Winston Duke
Winston Duke.
plays Batman in this Batman podcast. Now, I'm reading this article from the New York Post. So there's probably a lot of bullshit and hyperbole in here. However, apparently the Joe Rogan Experience, which is literally the #1 podcast in the world with I think like in between 15 to 20 million users
downloads or
downloads
whatever.
per episode, was knocked off its perch as the streaming service most listened to show by the Batman themed podcast Batman Unburied. But here's the thing: it's the top podcast in
Top Spotify podcast.
top Spotify podcast in U.S., Australia, Brazil, France, the U.K., Germany, Italy, Mexico, and India. Is that their biggest markets?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I
So
feel like
if you're talking
this is something you would know.
Yeah, if you're talking about like from a music residual perspective, those are the places you're going to get the most money from. U.S., Australia, Brazil's weird, but bless you.
Thank you.
U.S., Australia, most of the U.K., and like bits of like I'm gonna say Western Europe is where you're gonna make all your money from. I don't know, like India and Brazil are random there, but
The fuck are you guys doing on this list?
I don't know. But It's
Gotta pump up those numbers.
pump up those numbers. They're rookie numbers.
So the podcast, which is said to be the brainchild of the Dark Knight, he didn't write the Dark Knight. He wrote Batman Begins.
I was about to
Pat's
say I
personal
didn't.
issue with that.
I was gonna say his name.
David S. Goyer tells the story of Bruce Wayne, played by Winston Duke, a forensic pathologist who has no memory of being the Cape Crusader at all.
Ooh,
Interesting.
ooh. Do you say?
Oh, he did write.
Did you
Dark
mean
Knight
that?
trilogy?
Or were you being sarcastic? You said, "Ooh, interesting."
Yeah, no. That is an interesting take. I didn't know that.
I didn't realize.
About.
So it's it's a narrative podcast.
Yes, I would assume that.
That's cool because that's what I'm interested. I want some old school radio.
I was
play
about to
type
say, yeah,
stuff.
it's kind of like weekly radio here.
Yeah.
Batman takes on the Joker.
That's what
I don't know. I don't know anything else.
Oh
You-
my
you were
God,
doing
the
great, Mike.
Joker
Keep going.
sucked him right in the nuts.
He was fighting those 15 men and he didn't pull out.
Nick smashes a trash can lid over there.
Biff, pow.
The whack. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Are you,
know,
are you
maybe-
planning on listening to it or?
I need time to listen to this. Like, this isn't one of those. There's podcasts that I can throw on and, like, while I'm working, and I can, I normally get, like, let's say 80-85% of it, but that, like, 20 to 15% is me, like, having to actually pay attention to something that I'm doing.
Right.
Whereas I feel like this is something that I have to be engaged with. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be paying attention to what's going on, because you don't want to, like, in a narrative based form. I mean, for God's sake, I can barely pay attention while I read the fucking comic books, like, and that has pictures and everything for me.
Look, it's much more visual than me just sitting there staring into space listening to a podcast.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else on this subject though.
Batman Unburied. That's the
Unburied.
name of it.
Who's producing it?
It,
Who's the studio that's
David S.
producing it?
Pumpkins, you said?
Yeah, you bet.
David S. Goyer, he wrote it. However, I think this is just from DC Comics.
Oh, but yeah, it's like an officially
What
signed.
Yeah,
stu-
it's
yeah, what
officially
studio is it?
licensed.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Summary for it is a psychological thriller that takes the listeners on, quote, a new journey deep into the mind of Bruce Wayne, who is, quote, working in the bowels of Gotham Hospital and tasked with examining the victims of the latest serial killer, the Harvester.
Oh, the Harvester targets the Wayne targets Wayne himself, prompting his parents, who are alive,
What?
to encourage him to go to therapy. In the Batman films, Thomas and Martha Wayne are brutally shot in front of Bruce, who was a young boy at the time.
Brutally?
Gotham police, who can't rely on Batman, instead call upon the city's second smartest detective, the Riddler, who is voiced by Hassan Minhaj.
Oh, Hassan Minhaj?
No,
Ooh.
no.
That'll be interesting.
is,
Harry Potter actor Jason Isaacs plays Alfred, the Wayne butler, and Gina Rodriguez portrays Barbara Gordon, the Gotham's chief of police.
Oh, Hassan's the comedian.
Yeah.
Hassan.
Hassan.
Jason Isaac is Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a Spotify original, actually.
That's cool. The fact that it's got this level of actors in it has me intrigued.
Yeah, it's not like just some guys in a room.
Yeah.
When
Couple
you said
cameras.
when we said originally it was Winston
That's
Duke,
us.
That's us.
I figured it was just going to be like Winston Duke and names that I didn't know, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But like they really pulled out all the stops for
Yeah,
this
you
one.
can say there's something wrong with it. There's a stigma to it for sure. You know?
It's a 10 episode series, by the way.
I just don't know a lot of voice actors. Is
Yeah,
all.
you could say it.
What do you want me to say?
Go ahead, Nick. Say it. You can say it, dude.
I hate all of them.
I hate all of it. Yeah.
I really don't like that.
Well, so either way, though, I'm definitely going to check this out when I have time to listen to it. But man, that's wild to dethrone Rogan's podcast that quickly.
Yeah, we
is
really
pretty cool.
we didn't touch on that, but yeah. That's,
Well, I mean, like it's also
It's fine, no one-
Batman. You know what I mean? Like Batman is a winning formula. You know, as long as you don't fuck it up royally.
as long as Ben Affleck's not in it. Yeah.
Don't start.
You better watch yourself.
Don't start.
I-
You guys, speaking of Ben Affleck,
To be fair, I don't blame Ben. I blame Zach. I think it's Zach's fault.
They're short episodes. They're only about 30 to 40 minutes for
You've
the
got
four.
How
that-
many
the
episodes
time,
are
Pat.
4 have came out so far, and there are 10 in total.
I have what?
You have the time to listen to this.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It looks cool, or it sounds cool.
It'd be cool if they just made a fucking Batman show.
No.
Isn't there They're doing one, right?
Not with Batman.
No,
though.
Batman in it though. I'm sure they'll reference him.
Same
you're
cri-
talking
same
about
criticism.
the Batman?
No, just a Batman.
Right, isn't
show.
they're doing a new show that's like in the same universe as animated?
Yeah, but he won't. Robert Pattinson's Batman will not be in that show.
So you do want the Batman.
No, I want a Batman show. Just a fucking show that's live action with Batman.
You want
on
a
it.
live action
Yeah,
Batman.
you didn't specify a live action.
I want more animated Batman.
I mean, they're doing one. They're doing Batman Cape Crusader, which is written
that
by
coming
Nick's
out?
favorite, Mystery Box.
J.J. Abrams.
That's the one.
Mystery Box.
And Matt Reeves is also writing that show.
There you go.
Oh,
I want Batman babies, like Muppet babies, but
Batman baby.
I thought you were saying you wanted Batman's babies. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, man,
I want some Damian Wayne.
it's good to have it. Ambition.
Me too.
All right. Speaking of ambition, Moon Knight.
Wait. Can you imagine Batman babies? It's like a bunch. It's like Batman and all his Gotham Knights, but Alfred is like a young man. He's like
He's like in his 20s.
He's like Granny, and he's like taking care of all these babies. That's what I want.
I want that. Let's greenlight that show.
He's got a bunch of young awards.
So I typed in Batman
Batman babies.
babies into Google, and all I
And there's
got
babies in Batman costumes.
was Batman. Oh, here you go.
But
Here you
Bart
go.
Harley Jarvis is in there.
This is what I'm looking for right there.
Oh, hold on. That's Pat's first son,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Damian Naparano.
Never, dude. I already know what the name of my first son's gonna be.
Joseph Enright Naparano.
No, never, ever. I would never name my kid after any one of my friends. It's
What-
the last thing I want.
Is it going to be Nico?
No. I named him after a YouTuber.
Mr. Beast Naparano.
Mr. Beast Naparano.
Oh, do YouTube
Ninja
you didn't say-
Naparano?
No, actually, really, if you guys want to know.
Oh,
I'm
I know what
gonna-
it is. Blair White Naparano.
Yes, Blair White Naparano. And
You found it out.
yeah, and she is going to grow up to be a piece of shit. Anyway, the real name I want to name it is Anthony. Because I want a fucking Tony. Because
Anthony.
I was supposed to be Anthony.
And what's in the middle name is going to be Harold.
And my grandmother so graciously expressed to my mother at the time, I don't want him to be Anthony. I don't want any guinea grandsons.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't want any guinea grandsons
No
with the last
Tonys.
name Naparano.
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
No Tonys.
Hey, I
I
don't
would have
want
made a
no
great, call me Tony.
fucking Tony.
Yeah, right? Wouldn't it be great? Anyway, and especially like when Iron Man came out when I was in high school.
Oh, you would have been all
I would have
over
been
that
all,
shit.
yeah, would have been great. Would have been awesome.
What would they have called you?
You would have had
Well,
like
hopefully my name. It would
what-
have. I would have preferred Tony from that point on.
you would have had like the Tony Stark facial hair instead of the Logan facial hair.
Well, Mike, I can't control puberty now.
That's Pat's superpower is controlling puberty.
I was just talking to one of my buddies about this yesterday. I have it stuck in my head like I'm still a teenager. Like, when's
Yeah.
puberty gonna end? But no, I am a 29-year-old man.
Do you actually actively think when puberty is going to
When are
end?
my
A couple
balls going to
times,
drop?
like I've been like, is this it? Like, this is what I got? Like, this is the come on, this
Ben,
is
what you've got?
bullshit.
when do I start feeling like a man?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
when you take your first life?
that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to murder a motherfucker.
Oh,
Okay.
We got our energy back, folks.
speaking of murdering motherfuckers,
Yeah, dude. Okay.
you didn't
I'm
like
just gonna
that?
say this.
Andy Dufresne is an innocent man. That's all I'm saying. He's talking about murder.
Okay, hold on,
Oh,
wait,
that's
wait,
fair,
wait.
that's
So you
fair.
guys, what's the hole in the wall bar in Asbury?
Which one?
The
Bond
one-
Street?
I think it's Bond Street. We went there one time to get drinks, and it was after a show that you guys played at the brewery for Ella, I think her name is.
Yeah.
And so we're hanging out, and there's a DJ in Bond Street and
No,
Shawshank.
there's never gonna be a DJ.
Okay,
in
then
Bond
it
Street.
wasn't that. Then it was another bar.
Was it in a basement?
No.
Was it Baby's All Right? Not Baby's All Right.
Oh,
What's the
Brick
Batman
Wall.
Babies.
It's Brick Wall.
Brick
It's
Wall
Brick
is
Wall.
not-
yeah, the one next to Brick Wall, like the secret
Oh, you're talking about Little Buddies.
Little Buddies. That's
It's the
it,
one
yeah.
that looks
Little
like a tropical
Buddies.
Yeah,
paradise.
little buddies.
It's
Okay,
not a
there-
hole in the wall.
There was a DJ in there, right? And Shawshank Redemption was on the TV, and it's literally the scene where his name's Patches, right? Where he hangs himself because he can't assimilate back into. I think it's Patches.
I don't think so. His name was
Something was here. Who is it?
yeah.
I'll find it out. Keep talking.
Either way, he couldn't assimilate back into normal life.
Brooks.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Patches, Brooks, you know.
Patches O'Houlihan. Brooks.
He couldn't assimilate back into normal life, and for whatever
Things are
reason,
faster here.
the DJ cut the music and was like, "Shawshank," like that. And for whatever, like at that moment is when he kicks the chair out from underneath himself. And like you could see it, like at least half the room all looked at the TV right where this guy hangs.
All right, everyone, let's pour one out for Brooks.
That's like, have you seen the things where like they're using like drops in songs? They're using like old like news, and it's like the president JFK was shot and killed today in Dallas, and it's like boom, 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 boom.
I have a friend, an old coworker of mine, and he would spend his time just making remixes of songs exclusively with audio tapes of Richard Nixon.
Yeah, holy shit. That one's come up too a lot. Like President Richard Nixon has died.
Yeah.
And it does the drop.
Boom, 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 boom.
God, you love that shit. Exactly. Brooks
You know
is
what they
here.
say? Camp is only as fun as you make it.
That's do they say that?
You don't watch Family Guy.
Oh, okay. But I do agree with that.
Man, I got a clip to show you later. Anyway, so Moon Knight. What the fuck happened? I watched this show and I said to myself, this should have been a movie. I get that Disney is trying to keep Disney Plus attractive
Alive.
to people by making these B-list Marvel superheroes and giving them their own TV show. But I finished Moon Knight and I was like, this should have been a movie because I would have gotten more out of it.
I agree with that from a pacing perspective. I don't.
There's no fucking Moon Knight in 80% of this.
That's the thing where it's like, it's basically like they would have if they made Uncharted but put Moon Knight in it. I think it would have been a better like.
Interesting.
Like, I appreciate Oscar Isaac's performance. I liked the first episode, and then it just fell off the fucking rails. It gets to the last episode, and the last episode, I was finally enjoying myself, and then and then there's something that happens at the end. I mean, we're gonna spoil it, but just like generally right now, where I was like, what the fuck? Like, why did they cut out basically half of the end battle? Because for a character moment.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where it's like, you did that only like once or twice before throughout this whole show. Like, and it was annoying those times. You know what I mean? So what's the deal now?
I mean, overall, I liked it. Like, I thought it was one of, it's not saying much, but I thought it was one of the better, like, Disney Marvel series that they put out. I do think that this one could be like, if someone did like a recut and moved shit around, it could have been a lot better. Because like when they're talking about when you're going into their past back and like, you're reliving things and he's trying to kind of figuring out and unweaving it, that felt like it should have been like in the middle of it. That like the whole like last couple episodes, you should have taken them, put him in the middle when he's in the mental hospital and everything.
I don't understand the mental hospital bit at all.
It was I think it's weird. It kind of like is just there to be the metaphor for him having a split mind, basically.
He's dead and in his own head, right?
And yeah, and because he's, self crazy or whatever, it's like to put him in a mental hospital. It's a little bit on the nose. It's kind of random, but I think if they took all of that shit and put it in the center, you would have had like a really good act 2, and then you could have had like a really strong ending
battle.
of it. Yeah, right.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
The whole thing where Amit is fighting and they're big in Egypt when they're fighting.
Yeah.
Amit's design was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when their two monsters are fighting each other, like, I considered that's the first time I ever joined the crowd of like, this is something the Avengers would definitely be called for. Like, this was the first time I was ever like, okay, yeah, I would call the Avengers for that one. I'd be like, holy fuck, you are never going to believe this shit.
Yeah, none of
Like,
the Avengers were like, huh, what the fuck is going on with the stars right now?
or like two giant monsters battling outside of Cairo, you know, like that was one of those things where I was just like, yeah, that is kind of weird. But the other thing was just like the storytelling was so fucking poor to that point that I just didn't care. But I was finally excited because I finally got to see Moon Knight actually kick ass. And like, that's what I wanted to see in a Moon Knight show. Like I said, no, everyone was like, episode 4 is like, it's got like these early 2000s mummy. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Because it's in Egypt.
Yeah. Like what, is that the only movie you've ever seen like that? Like, come on.
Connection here.
Then the other one was like episode 5 was like, it's an examination of grief and loss. And it's like, it's just his backstory you're finally getting. That's all there is to,
Well,
like,
I mean, I do think, to me, what's cool is that it's an interesting backstory that we don't see from a lot of other characters, where you could basically say a lot of the Marvel characters are a reskinning of each other. Like you say, Doctor Strange is Magic Iron Man. So this is something totally different and unique, and I think it's cool. This is one where I don't want to have no backstory. I think it's good to do the origin story, but it was really, like Mike said, it was weirdly placed in the structure of the show. And for the first 3 or 4 episodes, I had no clue what the objective was of why is anybody doing anything?
what are the stakes?
Well, it's,
You know,
not
like-
even what are the stakes. It's like we're introduced to Ethan Hawke and he's just like killing people by prejudging
Ethan
them.
Hawke, what a wet fart. He just walks around with a cane the entire show and just
Not his
Also,
fault.
like,
though.
what was
speaks in tongues. Like,
what was the point of him walking on glass in the very beginning of it?
It's like a Tony Robbins thing.
you know, it's mind over matter, Mike, okay?
But tell me in the story.
He's a
what-
charismatic leader, Mike.
I guess so, but he crippled himself. Is that
Well,
an
no,
excuse
he
that he
was-
has the cane for?
He was an avatar for
yeah, I know,
Amit,
but
right?
in the very beginning, he smashes a glass, puts it in his sandals, and walks around. So he's constantly walking on glass, and that's why when they're in the mental hospital, his feet are bleeding.
yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I think that he was like, why am I bleeding at the end with his feet was because he no longer has mind over matter.
yeah, but again, like they made the introduction.
I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for Moon Knight.
The
I'm just-
introduction to his character had this, and it wasn't like he has to do this or there's like an atonement. It's not like anything that he's not flagellating himself for any reason with Amit. Like,
yeah, and like here's the other thing too. It's just like all right, we talk about this. I feel like I say this so many times at this point. This is entertainment. You're supposed to entertain me. And like I get there's good storytelling, there's character development, you want to have those emotional beats, but in between that or during that or for the sake of that, you need to entertain me. And this show started out really entertaining with that awesome action sequence, you know.
the
in
first
beginning.
episode was awesome.
The first episode was great. And then I feel like I think in episode 3, Mark finally becomes Moon Knight. Or he, Steven gives him the ability to say, hey, just full Moon Knight out and like save us from this, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a section where Mark could have killed Ethan Hawke, no problem, and it would have been over. But he just dilly-dallies. Like they don't do anything. They have this weird monologue. I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't happen because they need 3 more episodes.
It
scene
suffers
is
from
that?
bad writing. Yeah.
Where they go to the grave site underneath like the glass pyramid and everything. And then even then,
That's where it lost me.
they all stab the shit out of Moon Knight at one point. And I was like, okay, so Moon Knight's indestructible, right?
Well,
which is fine.
He has like the rapid healing from Khonshu's armor.
but then it was just like, okay, so now there's no stakes in this. Like now I don't care.
Well,
Like,
the stakes of which it is that like Steven can die because he can't access the suit essentially until he can access the suit.
yeah.
And that's why that's the whole conflict of like the first 4 episodes is kind of like, oh shit, what's happening? And then it's like blackout and then, he's fine.
I was not a big fan of but like I said, I was not a big fan of the pacing. I'm sick of them. I want Moon Knight in my Moon Knight shows. Like Moon Knight should have had a kick-ass action sequence, like at least once per episode, like after they set everything up.
I agree.
I'm sorry, like I think in your superhero shows there should be some actual superheroing. That being said, there was one really cool part where he like jumped in the air or something, and the cape came out, like the actual Scarab. I was like, okay, that was a cool moment. Now, fill up the other 45 minutes with something as cool.
What I did like, I guess, is that. I mean, Oscar Isaac's good. He was really good in this. I really loved his performances. I really loved the splits in the characters. They really felt different and not him just doing a voice.
Yeah. His body language changes.
Yeah,
too.
he was great in it as an actor. I also like that it's a darker kind of, tenor for when we were looking at
way bloodier,
way more like language and swearing and stuff like that. But it's like when we were looking at, Falcon Winter Soldier, and there were like kind of moments like this, it was like they were trying to dip their toe in. This show I felt was it's like immediately they were like, here is with what when we're playing, and you're never worried about it like bringing up
and
to it.
And then we got Multiverse of Madness.
Still haven't seen it.
Ooh, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
I know.
You should go tonight.
Do you want me to go see you, or do you want me to go see?
Are you seeing me tonight?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm not driving all the way out to Pennsylvania tonight. What other thoughts you got, Nick? Why is Disney so like hell bent on doing 6 episode seasons? It doesn't work. You need either do a fucking movie or do a 12 episode run. These 6 episode seasons are not working.
I thought 8 would be the sweet spot.
8 is fine. 10 is fine. 12, 6 is not good.
It's super weird because like UK television and like English television has been doing like 4 to 6 episodes a season for years. Mm-hmm. Like that's a lot of the format for some of their shows. I don't know why it's spilling over. And like I get it that it's kind of like a correction of like a 22 episode season. That was like
back.
I don't want that back because there's a shit ton of filler. 10 to 12 8 to 12 episodes. Like that's the spot for me.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
8 episodes.
30 to 40 minutes, 8 to 10, I'm going to say 8 episodes.
But like, and you look at Peacemaker, and that's a show that's only 30 minutes per episode, and it was 8 episodes, and I thought it was absolutely unreal how good that show was.
Pacing was great, character development was great, the story was great, like everything was a really good through line.
Yeah.
Not so much for Moon Knight.
Always knew what the stakes were, why everybody was doing what they were doing, and it like there was always action and there was always something going on.
And I feel like it always raised the bar every episode of that show,
I think a thing with Peacemaker for that is, and it comes from like, the writing obviously, but the characters were who they are. Like they didn't go through like internal change, like aside from Peacemaker, like growing a little bit and them getting a little bit closer, but it's like you have really strongly defined characters.
Yeah.
And you put them and you set them in the universe and then watch them interact.
Yeah.
I feel that's a huge reason why that succeeded as well as it did.
So
this was trying to do a mystery though. That's the problem with this premise in itself, is that it's trying to do a mystery. What is going on with Steven? He doesn't know what this other part of his whole life is. Whereas I think it's not a straightforward story. You need more time to do it.
So there's another thing too, like specifically the last episode, which I finally was like really enjoying because there was really good action.
Because there was big ass monsters.
That was cool too. Oscar Isaac was switching between performances on the flip of a hat. Like it was nothing. How
cool.
It was awesome. And I liked how it showed him switching between Mr. Knight and Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. And it was shit like he'd throw the fucking thing as or he'd throw it as Mr. Knight, and then camera would come back, like follow it around and come back, and Moon Knight would catch it and he'd fuck up some dudes. And like I was like, all right, we have an engaging action. Even Liz was like, where was this the whole fucking show?
Yeah.
And when we got to the part where Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac are like literally duking it out, like this is the end, I could not believe that they did that.
Yeah.
That they did that weird thing where it's like, oh, another identity took over. And like, it's like, did you just waste the fucking climax like that? And like, I get there's like some like dude bros who love Moon Knight. They're like, yes, Jake Lachlan, he's here. This is what we've been. It's like, but you wasted
the final battle,
the climax of the show.
They could have still done that and then had like the kaijus fighting and like let them do their thing. That could have been the big like I understand the reasoning for doing it, but yeah, you're right. They totally dropped the ball. And it's
I
like,
think
Like,
how-
talk about
Yeah.
taking the fucking knees out of the, like, action sequences should be building on themselves the entire time till you reach a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
Like the part where the music drops out and that thing gives, or that
and the
punch is
15
thrown.
guys come in and you pull out.
Yeah.
I think like what they could have done is like they had a big fight with him, with Ethan Hawke, and then like there might have been blackout moments occasionally in the fight where like things
Yes.
change and they're both kind of like what the hell is that? Like, are you doing it? And they're like, I don't know. And then it's like, you're making it swirl, you're making it like shit go.
I just could not
as opposed to
believe-
just being like, the classic like end of Rocky, and then it goes to fucking black, like unreal.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it cut, like, I was just like, fuck this show. I was like, this show sucks. I was like, I do not like this show. I want Marvel to stop making shows. I know we have Miss Marvel still coming. She-Hulk is coming. Secret Invasion's on the way. Echo's on the way. Like, and it's just like, I don't want to keep watching these if they're just going to be like this mediocre bullshit. I watched Moon Knight and I was like, I would have rather this been 2:15 or a 2.5 hour movie that they just pumped 200 million into and just put it out.
They could have pumped 80 million.
I mean, I would want it to get the proper MCU. Listen,
Right.
Doctor Strange 2 just made $500 million on opening weekend.
Yeah.
And that is not Doctor Strange brand recognition. That is MCU brand recognition. Okay. And I don't know if you've heard most of the things coming out about Doctor Strange. Not a lot of people loved it. We're in the minority on that of people
Right.
who like thoroughly enjoyed it. And still though, it's still making hundreds of millions of dollars. It's people are still praising. It's still in the conversation. You could have put Moon Knight out as an actual movie.
Who's in charge of Marvel's TV? Is that also Kevin Feige?
I'm pretty sure it's Kevin Feige still.
I don't like. I love what he's done with the MCU, but maybe he just shouldn't be involved in TV.
All of these almost feel like test projects. Like it's like it's like each one is kind of like, I don't want to say in its own like genre almost, but kind of, right? Like Falcon Winter Soldier is more of like you get like
But
the actiony Jason
you gotta
Bourne,
remember,
WandaVision, you get like the
he also did Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and WandaVision.
those were all very
really
much in
good,
the
yeah.
same tenor though. Like this, what I feel like what Marvel and what Disney is doing is like, which of these is going to be most successful? How can it's almost like market research.
I feel like this is more Disney than anything else. They're like,
Yeah.
we need TV shows for our streaming service. When, like, really, I am of the mindset that Disney doesn't realize that their back catalog is why people have Disney Plus.
Absolutely. Not
That
the new
and
shit.
The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? like there is no reason
Well,
for them.
The people like me, and I would have no business being on Disney Plus. It's only for Marvel and Disney content.
Really, just Star Wars now.
Or did I say Marvel and Star Wars?
I mean,
That's
like
what I
our
meant.
demographic, yes, but most of the people who
As
are
a
like,
matter of fact, I
are
saw
like the kids Disney Plus thing.
they had a
Right, but
new release.
they want everybody on there.
They
Of
had a
course.
new release for Nat Geo on there called Something Bit Me, about how people got bit by poisonous animals and went to the ER. I was like, this sounds way more interesting than Moon Knight. I always go back to that Bill Burr joke. It's like, this is where I watch guys get bit by snakes for 3 hours on YouTube. That's what you get, you dumb son of a bitch. Well, yeah, I mean, like, that legitimately, I was like, that looks more interesting than Moon Knight. Unfortunately, I am contractually obligated to consume everything Marvel now.
I do also like. I guess my final thoughts on it, outside of I have one other thing after Nick gives a little final thoughts, is it's unfortunately one of the better Marvel shows. Probably number 2 for me, I think, or 3, which is like WandaVision, Loki, and this, but that's not really saying much.
Dude, you know how I feel about Loki.
I know you do, but like fucking Hawkeye and Falcon Winter Soldier, like
Dude,
you want
the
to.
last 3 have been so bad. Was it
Yeah.
Loki, Hawkeye, and this? Awful.
I think for me, Hawkeye, it's probably Hawkeye's number 2 for me.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I put WandaVision like here, and then everything else is down here.
WandaVision is definitely like front runner by far.
I feel like WandaVision they actually put some thought into, and the only reason it sucked in the end was because of COVID. Like that last episode, the reason Kat Dennings just disappears is because like they literally she could not get to the set to be
Yeah.
filmed. You know what I mean? And like they had to just wrap everything up because how they didn't have days, they didn't have actors on certain days, they didn't have time. So like they literally, the reason that episode is the way that it is because of COVID. So I don't fault them for having to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Visuals fantastic. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Acting is fantastic. Everybody's, or Oscar Isaacs just alone carries the entire show.
Yes, for sure.
And outside of that, I mean,
I don't care about the Layla chick at all. Stephen Hawking's villain is
getting
absolutely he's wasted. He's not interesting at all. I hate him as well.
He's not cunning enough. Like, go ahead, Nick.
I don't blame Ethan Hawke at all. It's just terrible writing and direction.
It's awful. It's awful.
Do you know that? Do you know what was cut from this on the crossovers? Did you read any of that?
Yeah, it was the Eternals, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, in an interview with Russ Milheim, who is the head writer and the producer of this, also opened up that I'm reading off of this is also the direct. The Eternal scrapped appearances from an early draft of the Moon Knight script, specifically with Kamal Nanjiani's Kingo. There was supposed to be like a flashback scene into ancient Egypt, and then 3 or 4 Eternals were supposed to take part in a big action sequence involving one of Khonshu's avatars.
That would have been cool.
Yet the quote-unquote massively expensive concept was the reason for the removal.
I get it.
No kidding. Well, the other thing was that Marvel also they're being a bit more conscious about cameos now because if they feel that they have set the bar a little bit too high with Spider-Man No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and they went out and they said that we cut that because we didn't feel that was ultimately necessary either. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In the sense that like they did not have to. You don't want to rely on cameos, which I feel like Phase 1 and Phase 2, and honestly Phase 3 of the MCU, the whole Infinity Saga, the cameos were always like fun little things. Like in Thor: The Dark World, Loki turns into Chris Evans for like 30 seconds. At the end of Hulk, Iron Man shows up and talks to Thunderbolt Ross.
They're not like impactful things. They're just little like they're Easter eggs.
No, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was supposed to be. Always fun little Easter eggs. And then there was team up movies. You know what I mean? Doctor Strange is a cameo in Thor Ragnarok. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I said, fun little Easter eggs. They didn't need to, have.
It's just a reminder that they exist in the same universe. It's not changing the
Whereas
story.
In No Way Home,
it's also too expensive now to bring them in. Like
in No Way Home, the cameos were actually central to the plot. They ended up being, that inspiration Peter needed, and like finally someone who understands what he's going through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Also funny. I watched a Nostalgia Critic episode on No Way Home. It just came out the past week.
Yeah.
And like, have you guys seen the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man at all?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't say with great power comes great responsibility. They basically made it the most wordiest way to say that, like not choice, responsibility, or like whatever.
It's like if you translate something to another language and then translate it back.
And then when Peter says to when Tom Holland says to Tobey Maguire that with great power comes great responsibility, he said with great power, he says with comes great responsibility. Andrew Garfield's character says, Uncle Ben said that. And he just like halts. He goes, hold on. No, he didn't, bro. You definitely, your Uncle Ben did not say that shit to you.
He just wanted to be involved.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, he said it too, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And like, either way though, my point is that, not to get sidetracked, but my point is that like those cameos were central to that plot. They were brilliantly brought into the story. The only issue we had with the villains was really like the Lizard,
right?
And like maybe some of Sandman because they couldn't get it. They couldn't get them because of COVID. And like Multiverse of Madness, the cameos once again, they're not super integral to the plot, but they made sense for a character.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, to showcase how strong she was.
Right.
Anyway. I'm trying to dance around it so I don't.
I know.
It feels to me like they're getting into Star Wars territory where it's like, remember in Rogue One when there's the 2 bar patrons from A New Hope, like the I don't like you, my friend doesn't like you. Those, it's like, come on, like
you don't know about the one cameo they cut from What If, right? Did you hear about this?
What was that?
If you tell me, I think I'll know.
When they did What If, they went to Disney and they asked for one cameo.
Yeah, I remember
And
this.
the response was, no, we gave you the whole MCU. Play with that first, and we'll see what it is. The
Porky
cameo
Pig.
was Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Thank God.
It was Porky Pig.
That's all, folks.
Thanos.
And he just gets
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
separated. By,
Fucking Ultron is changing, like destroying all the universes. Porky Pig's like, that's all, folks.
Porky Pig gets. I don't feel so good.
We're getting into another impression territory.
All right.
Before we move on, I don't have anywhere else to put this, but I just, being that we're on the topic of television.
I wonder if you're gonna say what I'm thinking of trying to say after
No,
this.
I'm gonna guess not.
Really?
But I've been watching a lot of smaller, shorter shows, and I just wanted to say, I watched Schmigadoon on Apple TV Plus. I don't know, Pat, have you seen it?
Fuck no, dude.
Well,
I haven't seen anything but the inside of an auditorium for the past 3
Schmigadoon.
weeks.
well, it's music. It's just making fun of classical musical theater, and it's starring Cecily Strong and Keegan Michael Key.
Okay.
It's got a lot of other great actors in it, and it's very funny. It's only 6 episodes. And also, I started watching on Netflix the Pentaveret.
Pentaveret. That's what I was gonna bring up.
Cool. But it's
Which
like,
also is Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan, yeah, he's in that, and Mike Myers plays like 8, 9, 10
is
different characters.
Literally just it's just Austin Powers. It's fucking
so Austin
hysterical.
Powers.
Okay.
Like I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes of it, and all of the jokes are classic Austin Powers jokes. Like there's this Russian guy who he's saying count, but it sounds like you're removing the O from that word, and that's like, half of Austin Powers is like, what are you saying? What is he saying? Back and
A lot
forth.
of
Johnson.
wordplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's
What was the one where he's saying, he's telling one of the characters, you'll have to focus. He's like, you have to focus.
you have to fuck it.
You have to focus
He's like,
hard.
I have to do what?
Very derivative from the Cork Soakers.
Yeah.
SNL bit.
It's so good. It's bad. All of the jokes feel like just straight up like 2000s Austin Powers
and
jokes.
then the transition from there's scenes in Canada and scenes in the US, and all the Canadian scenes are like low res.
They're like 4x3 filmed on a VHS tape. Like,
And then they cross the border, and the aspect ratio of the show changes. It's like
it's really funny.
classic Mike Myers sight gags and wordplay, and then they like chop up. It's great. It's great.
Okay. I'll check it out.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's one of those things like it's definitely made for us because the people who like loved and like grew up kind of with Austin Powers in that area. But it feels like old school, like SNL-y. It's fun. It's a good time.
Okay.
Pat, you sound very upset that we brought this up.
I'm not upset. I'm just tired, you guys. Like I am fucking.
else do I have to
I have a
watch?
headache. I'm tired.
It's not that I have to watch. It's not anything you guys brought up. I'm just legitimately tired. Like I can't wait until Monday because I just have to go to work and that's it.
It's the only thing you have to do.
Like that's it. I don't have to go to rehearsal.
Right.
I don't have to, do anything. I just get to like unplug my brain for like
And do
a couple
that.
hours and hang out, and then
That's fair.
If
If you a good unplug your brain and hang out show is the Pentaveret.
Yeah.
okay,
There's short episodes too.
Yeah, they're 30
even
minutes.
better.
The Pentaveret.
All right, so let's talk about the reason why we're here, boys. Games from 2012. Now, every year that we've done this podcast,
All one of them.
no, we're going on 2.
This is 2. So we've only done it one other year.
We like to
It's
go
a tradition.
back. We like to go back 10 years and talk about 2 games we loved and one we hate that came out that year. Specifically, this year would be 2012, which was a prime year for gaming. It's also the first year that we were in college, right?
Second year.
Second year.
Well,
sophomore
and
year.
we started college
in
fresh in
fall 2011. So this would be fall 2012.
Yeah.
Pat, I want to know how many movies from 2012 you can name.
I don't know.
All right, give me 3 movies from 2012. Go.
There's a big one.
There's a few big ones.
The Avengers.
Yes.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
And
Give me one more.
Speaking of Mr. Garfield,
hold on. Oh, yeah, I guess there was a Spider-Man movie too, huh?
Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man 1, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
2 was 2014, I think. Why? What are you doing?
I just looked up movies from 2012.
Okay.
Skyfall,
That movie sucks.
Chronicle. Do you remember that?
That's a good movie.
That's
I
a
like
weird
that
one,
movie.
yeah.
Everybody's favorite alien movie, Men in Black 3.
You know,
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's a good
VHS
one.
came out in
Starring-
2000.
Oh, yeah, you're in that.
Yours truly.
Yeah.
starring.
All right. So everybody's got games that they want that we brought in today. Nobody knows what each other has, but
Got game.
I will gladly kick this off.
Start her off.
All right. First up, Far Cry 3.
Oh, man.
And I could probably guess what yours are.
I was going to do a drum roll, but you didn't give me
Oh,
enough
hold on.
time.
Let's start it off.
Far Cry 3.
That's all, folks.
We got to get a sound of like little kids cheering. Like, yeah.
Oh, the Halo, like when you shoot the grunt's head, the birthday explosion
Oh,
thing.
yeah, the birthday skull. So, yeah, I got Far Cry 3 when it came out for Xbox 360. It released November 29th, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the game that made Far Cry 3 that made the Far Cry series what it is today. However, they also say that this game signed Far Cry's death warrant because it hasn't really changed the formula since this point. I mean, we just had Far Cry 6 in October of 2021. And to be honest, it didn't change very much at all. But there's just more shit to do, more environment. I mean, this one's
It's just bigger.
Right. And I feel like Far Cry 6 is closest to 3 because of the environment. You know, it's a tropical weather, you know, it's sunny, there's warlords. It's a good time, you know?
Great time.
This one specifically is based upon Vaz Montenegro, I think his name was.
Nick, you didn't play this game, right?
This is also my pick. I didn't play it, but it was one of the games that I sat in Kevin Foley's, side room of the house and watched him play the whole game all the way through.
So I've never played this game too.
Okay.
Yeah, but
The
continue.
only
Sorry.
disappointing thing about this game is that Voss was such a good, popular character that they didn't know what they had, that you actually kill him off halfway through. And then the rest
that's
of
the
the game,
big criticism I remember from this. Yeah.
And the rest of the game is some boring guy, which sucks, but whatever.
So is this your good or bad game?
good? This is
Okay.
this is one of my favorite, like all time favorite. I just replayed it in 2018 or 19, around then. Like it still plays. Like I said, it's literally what every other Far Cry game has based their formula on since.
Right.
So of course it plays good.
And
you know?
what games have kind of copied Far Cry since then?
Every game Ubisoft's put out, like
Yeah,
What's
so
that?
I mean, it's
Just
like it's,
Cause. Did that come out after this or?
I don't think so. I mean, Just Cause and Far Cry kind of like they go on the
yeah,
like
1-to-1 kind of
one
thing.
to one type of deal. I don't know. I haven't really.
Oh, that's
fucked with it.
2009. But they both are like one does this, the other takes from it, the other does that.
Yeah,
like
that kind of deal.
add,
Yes, yeah, kind of like Elden Ring just did to the entire fucking.
everything.
Yeah.
Did you play Blood Dragon?
Yes, I did, and I don't love it.
Okay,
Blood Dragon.
Blood
Oh,
Dragon.
It's a
you know what that is?
DLC.
DLC. Yeah,
It's their Cyberpunk DLC.
yeah. They're Tomb Raider or not Tomb Raider. Terminator one.
Terminator, yeah, kind of. But yeah, this was the
cover
first one.
Looks like Terminator.
Yeah,
Like,
this was the first one that had the. It was set in the tropical environment like the first two games were, but this one more or less was really like, here is this big open world. Here are these mercenaries that you can kill and capture points. There's these towers that you can climb up and unlock parts of the map, which then fucking like every Assassin's Creed does.
Right.
And like I said, every Ubisoft game does. And it was also one of those games where it had the cool fucking healing animations where if you don't have a health pack to heal yourself, you like dig the bullet out of your arm, or like you break your wrist back into place, or like you snap your finger back, stuff like that. Or like you're on fire and you put yourself out. Like, it was fun stuff like that. It was also like how you could hunt in this game to create like new, more caches for your weapons and your ammo and bows and stuff like that, so you can upgrade your inventory and shit like that. Damn, I really want to go back and play Far Cry 3 now.
shit, I'm gonna play.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Far Cry 3.
You just recently played the new one, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I like the new one. I think Far Cry is the junk food of gaming, where like it's not meant to be this amazing meal. You're meant to be in this open sandbox with ridiculous physics and just go apeshit, in these fun environments. Like Far Cry 4 was like the Tibetan like Himalayas,
Right.
and you're in like Mount Everest and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry 5 was the heartland of America, where a cult takes over a small like Hope County in
Yeah.
Montana. Far Cry 6, you're in Cuba, pretty much. I mean, that's
Cuba.
yeah, that's what they're trying to make. I forget what
By
the
not
actual
calling it
island
Cuba.
is. Yeah, it's like Cuba, but it's one of those wink wink type
Yeah.
of things. And Far Cry 3 was like these tropical islands. I'm trying to think what Far Cry 2 was West Africa with poachers and the jackal, and you get malaria. And then
Does any of the story carry over?
not at all.
No.
That's the way I like it.
Individual things.
Yeah. I mean, like the DLCs always did like, Far Cry, what is it? So like Far Cry 3 and Far Cry Red Dragon, right? Those two are DLCs that go together. It just reuses the map but changes the story a bit.
Right.
Far Cry 4 came out, and then they had Far Cry Primal. Far Cry Primal uses the same map as 4, but it's set during like literally like caveman time. So you guys
cool.
Right.
speak in grunts, you ride saber-toothed cats, you fight mammoths and shit like that.
Did you like that one?
That's the only one I haven't played, and when I try to fire it up on my PC, it just crashes immediately. So
It's that good.
I guess I'll never get to it.
I'm never gonna get to play.
I'm
it.
hoping that, and like I can't really do first-person games on thumbsticks anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I can try it on my PlayStation, but I'm not sure
Why
if
not?
that's going to
It's
work.
not the same.
Because once you go to this, it's not the same.
Does that include Jedi Fallen Order?
That's not a first-person game.
Oh, you're right. It's not. Never mind.
Especially
My
like
brain
especially
farted.
shooter games like that.
Yeah.
Like with the mouse, it's just like so much
A
more.
mouse, it's like you put it where you want it to go. Where, like, the sticks, you have to calibrate it to how fast you're going to move. It's
Yeah.
it's fucked up. So Primal uses the same map, except your caveman times. Now 5 is set in Hope County, and at the end of that game, regardless of what choice you make, the nuke goes off, and you get dragged into the bunker with Joseph Seed, the head of the cult that you just destroyed.
Right.
And he like says like, from the ashes, I'll start a new family, and you'll be my first son. So like later, then Far Cry New Dawn came out, which is set 20 years in the future
after the nuke.
after the nuke went off, and there's all these beautiful, wonderful foliage that have been built, and like there's all these survival camps, and it's the same map, you know what I mean? And but it's all post-apocalyptic out, and the story you follow in that game turns out the head lieutenant, I think his name is the Duke in this game, he's your character from the last game. So he now
cool.
works for the cult leader, for the last 20 years, rebuilding his family. There's these the bad guys are called the Highwaymen. These are the twins that are the villains.
It's the band, the Highwaymen.
Yeah. Life is a highway. Anyway, so Joseph Seed, the head of the cult, he still lives in like his cave cavern thing,
Bunkery,
like
whatever, yeah.
up in the mountains or whatever. So like every DLC or like every continuation, they only cost like $30 or $40, and they always come out like a year after the initial game, and it kind of continues the story about just what was going on, and
That's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's like you reuse all the assets and you just like reskin things.
I can't wait to see what they do with 6's. Like, but 6 was one of those games where I'm not sure if everyone loved it, because like I put probably like 40, 50 hours into that game and I was finished with it. Danny only put 3 hours into it and hasn't gone back.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, well,
He's Danny.
he's Danny. He just doesn't play those games.
We
All
miss
right,
you, Danny.
we spent a lot of time on Far Cry. Who's up next?
I can go. One of the games I love, Lego Lord of the Rings, came out in 2012.
all right. That's a good
I
choice.
fucking love like that. That's one of the games. So I think I played that one, and then I was like, "Oh my god, these games are so fun!" And I went back and I played. I think the Star Wars ones came out before that, or yeah. I went back and I played like all of them, and these are the games where I'm like, I'm going to find every brick. I'm going to get all the money. I'm going to like 150% them.
Yeah.
I just love it. Like they're so much fun because they're so casual, they're so simple, but it's like you get the whole story with it. I love it. I can't like I literally might want to go back and play this game. Like
Yeah.
I'm like
We
looking
talking
at
about
it.
these games, maybe you want to replay them. For
I
sure.
know. But it's just I love how when like all the Lego games will do fun things with like what happens when they like break shit and like, and the cutscenes are like the best part of
Or
all
they
these
make
games.
jokes about, what's going on in the actual game.
Right. Also,
I like how the
love
new
Gollum.
Lego Star Wars makes jokes on the sequel trilogy. They they make fun of the new movies. That's
yeah.
great.
That's the thing. Like they all take like a lot of
Take
They
the
take
piss
the
out of
piss
it.
out
they
of
take the piss.
They take the piss.
They take the piss out of
piss.
anyone. All right.
But yeah, love this game. You can get it on Steam for $20 right now.
Do it. I dare you to buy it right now.
No, I'm not
You
gonna.
know that so I have like video games from 2012 pulled up right now, and every game has the cover of the game except for Lego Lord of the Rings, and it's just a PNG where it's the logo on a blank background.
And it's also not formatted into like the correct aspect ratio.
Everyone hates it, Mike. You're the only one.
No, it's, you guys got to go play it. Like,
what about you, Nick?
So, like I said, my pick was also Far Cry 3, a game that I have never played, but I've watched a lot of hours of it. In addition to that, like, I kind of picked two that I didn't like, if that's okay.
I almost have the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want to do that, I had two games that I had expectations, and it didn't do what I wanted it to do, because that's the type of gamer that I am, I suppose. So the first one for me is Walking Dead. The Telltale game.
Telltale games.
Telltale ones.
And
That's
I
like
was-
point and click, right?
It's
kind of.
It's
Yeah.
point and click, and it's just story driven. And I was at the time in 2012, I was a hardcore Walking Dead fan, to the point where I was live tweeting every Sunday. I would go over and watch it with my crew and live tweet it. But yeah, this game it's Telltale doing what they do. It's point and click story.
They
games.
put out a bunch. Like those came out in chapters,
Yo, the
right?
Batman one
Yeah.
isn't bad, though. The Telltale one. It's actually pretty good.
When did it come out?
Probably like the 2018, 2019.
Okay, so they've had some time to
Fix all the criticism.
Yeah, but I just remember being like really disappointed that I wasn't able to,
Shoot
fight
zombies.
zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Telltale's more
That,
about telling stories.
That sparked your 7 days addiction.
Pretty much. That's probably why I play so much 7 Days now.
I can actually fight these zombies now.
There. Have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
No.
It's a much better zombie fighting game than the 7 Days.
Is there a
There's
building
not.
aspect?
Yeah, there's not.
No,
there's
there
not
So
a.
then it's not for me.
It ain't for me. I ain't gonna do it.
You can't make me.
Can't make me.
All right.
What's your
So-
next one, Pat?
I do have an honorable mention. I don't want to go on too long about it because I have an actual one. Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
A lot of people don't like this one. However, it's a direct sequel to Assassin's Creed Revelations. This one is the one that takes place during the Civil War. Not Civil War, the Revolutionary War.
Is this one where you're Native American?
Yes, you're Native American. You're half Native and half British.
Okay.
It's basically Gun.
Yes, it's done. That's right. So, just to I don't want to spend too long on this because this is just an honorable mention. But basically, I love the fact that you spend the first 7 hours of the game playing as Nathan Kenway. Pretty sure that's his name. And then it turns out that you're actually a Templar and you thought you were an assassin the entire time. He bangs a native chick, and then
Jesus.
it switches over to you are now that native chick's son, Connor, and he grows up to be an assassin because his grandfather was an assassin.
Yeah.
So you are your father, the Templars are working with the British. You as a native are working with the Americans, or the what are the
Colonists.
The colonists or
The Yanks.
the Yanks. And I know a lot of people get on it for the parkour where you're running through trees and stuff as opposed to buildings and whatever, but that doesn't really matter. I really like the setting. I like the storytelling. And one of the things I really love the most about that game is the fact that the last battle of the game is not only is it one of the last battles of the Revolutionary War, you actually fight your father
That's
with
cool.
And Connor's you can have a sword with him, you have the dagger, or the hidden blade, but you also have a tomahawk and a knife underhand, and that's your main mode of killing people, and it's so fucking awesome. So
Yeah.
the fact that you guys, if there's a battle of ideologies and there's a physical battle of who is
difference
the
in
better
weaponry in
assassin.
that way,
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
Like in Moon Knight.
Just like in Moon Knight.
Either way, I just really like that one. That one stands out to me.
I remember that opening sequence that you're talking about. I remember that being a big deal at the time.
I do too.
And the DLC, the tyranny of King Washington, where George Washington just decides he's going to be a king and fuck democracy, so you actually have to overthrow him.
That's cool.
That is
It's
cool.
good shit. I
That's
like
some
it.
Far Cry shit right there.
All right.
Revisionist
So
history.
the other game that I actually love, right? Oh my god, with this shit.
Damn it, Nick.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yep.
This is legit still in the era where Call of Duty was putting out banger after banger. I believe this one came just after World at War, I think.
This is my like pick as well.
Blops 2.
Blops.
Yeah.
Blops.
Blurps.
The story in this game is unbelievable. It's fucking
It's so
awesome.
cool.
I love the fact that you're going to old shit to new like stuff. There's like that World War II level
Yeah.
with Reznov. You guys are in Vietnam at one point.
That's the one where it starts with the Russian roulette in that scene, right? When you're in Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton gets his knees blown off at
Michael
one point.
Michael Keaton.
Well, Ed Harris was originally Hudson. Yeah,
Really?
Michael Keaton's Hudson, and then they changed him
didn't
over to
know.
Michael Keaton. Woods and fucking Mason.
Mason.
I like how you're playing as Mason's grandson, Mason.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't change
Yeah, they don't have to
much.
change the dialogue, and it was nothing. It's just great, and not only that, the multiplayer was sick. This was when they introduced party games.
Yep.
One in the chamber, gun game. What was the other big popular one where it's where it changes every 45 seconds?
Yeah,
you
you
get
just-
a new
I
gun. I
can't
can't
remember
remember
what
the
it's
name
called.
either. This was the one that we had in the living room at the house at South Lincoln.
Yeah.
That we always what's it called? That we pretty much switched off controllers. Nick, I don't know if you remember that, where we just played under John's gamer tag.
Nope.
Okay. And I mean the servers are still up today. It's one of the best COD games ever made.
Yep.
I love it. Absolutely
I'm trying
think
to
it's
think.
amazing.
Was there a part? So you said there's a Vietnam part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a part where you're like kind of crawling around in the dark in like a harbor type setting? Or is that a different one?
I don't remember.
When I think of crawling around in Call of Duty, I immediately go to All Gillied Up. From
One of the characters,
Modern Warfare.
there's
yeah.
an older character, a salty sea dog with like a bandana. He's wearing like a bandana across his head. Are you looking up
don't
salty
know.
sea dog with bandana across his head?
Yeah, I did. No. It might be Modern Warfare.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a harbor map in Modern Warfare. I don't know if that's related to the story or not. I can't remember that game too well. What I really, really, really liked about this game was all of like the subclasses of multiplayer. This is one of the things where it was like, okay, I've prestiged 1 or 2 times, and I'm like, I can fight people with the guns that I've built that
Yeah.
I've done, and then I'm like, no, I want to go and do knives only, or like I want to just
Yeah,
fuck
I
around
love
and-
gun game. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe they don't just keep that in like the new games. They just keep fucking rotating it out.
Yeah, that and then zombies. Like,
Oh yeah, this was
I can't
when they
even-
took zombies and just turned it the fuck up.
yeah, this is like all of the from Black Ops 1, like all of like the little Easter eggy things and what you could kind of do with zombies was there. And then this one, we're like, no, we're going to give like deep, complicated lore to zombies.
I'm trying to I'm gonna look at the DLC map because remember there was Transit that everybody hated.
Are you talking zombies?
Yeah, from Blops 2, and then what was the one?
There was Farm.
What was the theater one though? There was one in the theater.
Yeah, I don't remember what it. Transit. Well, Transit is a game mode, but it was
Yeah.
the 3 maps were Town, Farm, and Bus Depot.
Oh, Die Rise? Is that what it is?
Are you thinking of was that Black Ops 1? Are you thinking of
No. Well, hold on, let me look up. Kind der Toten. Kinder. Oh, it was
Kindertoten. That's
Kinder
Black Ops
Toten was
1.
Black Ops 1. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Kinder Toten.
Kinder Toten. But yeah, this is the one where it was like they took everything that people really loved from zombies, like Black Ops 1, and they were like, we're just gonna dial this the fuck up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
And I mean, like it builds off of the original zombies from World at War,
Yeah.
which was also fucking stellar.
Yep.
God damn it, I miss this era of Call of Duty.
Die.
Yeah. I miss this era of Call of Duty. It was always awesome. Even that fucking Godzilla vs Kong thing they put out was kind of a wet fart. So like, it's this whole thing where like you get to fight. Like Godzilla just stays on the shoreline, but you can absolutely use the orca from the movies to call in an atomic breath, like an airstrike. So he will attack a part of the map with his atomic breath, and then Kong is actually on the map, jumping all over the place and throwing rocks
Just
at
smashing
people.
you.
Yeah, and you can actually shoot them and stagger them and, get lots of XP. But they don't actually fight each other, and that is some horseshit.
That's what I thought it should be. I thought it should just be them fighting on the island and then like their collateral damage affecting you.
Oh, yeah.
Or like influencing the gameplay. It's like, no shit, there's gonna be like a fire, like almost like fire rain, like get under something quick.
Yeah, and you can't hide in buildings from Godzilla's atomic breath. You actually have to get out of the way. And you can't go back to where he just blew a hole in the crater because it's all radiated and you will die.
And you will die.
So I played 1 or 2 games and I was like, okay, that was fun.
Novel.
Enough of this. All right, so who's got...
My
then
next,
all's next is all hated, right?
Well, this goes into my hated because
yeah.
Because you had to ruin Mike's other
He ruined it. Well, he ruined one of yours, so Pat's just...
Don't be mad because I like good
2 for
games.
2.
I know. Dishonored.
I'm not surprised.
Dishonored.
I don't like the Dishonored games.
No, yeah, this is my dislike.
Yeah.
Dislike Dishonored. Dude, I was so stoked for this game. All of like the gameplay trailers and everything made this look so cool because I was like, it's like Assassin's Creed with magic and then like super versatility on movement. It almost was like very open worldy and figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Yeah.
Different ways to kill people. You can be stealthy, you can be aggressive, and there's like the world is influenced by what happens. Like in this game, the more bodies, like the more people you kill and they leave dead, more rats will come. And that makes it harder to like traverse because the rats basically swarm you and kill you.
Oh, nice.
But so it's like you have to do thoughtful gameplay. Everything about this trailer looked so good and I was so excited, and then I got it and it was just not fun. Like it was so stupid. I think I finished this game and it's got a really good rating. People love this game. I just completely fell flat for me. Like it was, you could do combos off of the moves and everything, but it basically was one of those games where it's like, here's a bunch of tools. Clearly these 2 are the best, so I'm just going to use those and not bother with the rest of that shit.
Damn, such bullshit.
I know.
Yeah, no, I didn't like Dishonored 2 when I played it either. I know some people are like, you don't like that game? How could you not like that game? Listen, man, some games aren't for some people.
Look, and like
Dishonored is one of them.
It is like massively highly rated, like 9.2 on IGN, 91% on Metacritic. Like, I like the...
What was that game they just put out?
What?
Same studio. Deathloop.
Yeah, exactly, which is basically Dishonored.
Yeah,
like,
Dishonored, but I also still don't like it.
yeah, same, like different kind of premise, but I don't know, man. It just like, it completely fell so flat, and it's not a game that I would like to go back and retry because it seems like all of the combat mechanics and everything will be so bad.
No, I get it.
But yeah.
Did you play the sequel?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I wasn't buying that. This was at the time where
I've only
you had to
played
buy the
sequel.
games, like this wasn't like where you could do Xbox Game Pass or whatever. I wasn't fucking buying another $60 Dishonored game.
What about you? What did you...
So my other game that I was disappointed by because of my expectations was Hitman Absolution.
That's so... You know what? I'm not surprised
Yeah?
by
What
this.
is that?
I saw it on the list because they market those games like action games and they're really not.
Well, for me, it's that I was a big fan of Hitman Blood Money. I got countless hours out of that game just playing levels over and over again and just seeing all the different ways that I could kill these people and sneak like, you know me, I love stealth.
Yeah.
And then Absolution was
Never underestimate the sneak.
Absolution was like the one time that they changed the recipe for the game, and they made it linear, and there was no options. You couldn't kill anybody any way you wanted to. And from what I understand, it was a good game if you weren't going into it looking for a Hitman game. It's got like, it's got a 4 out of 5, a 79% from Metacritic and an 8.2 from IMDb. I didn't know IMDb rated games.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Like, fuck? Stay off of that shit.
95% of users
Stop
like the game.
looking at IMDb ratings. They're horse shit.
I
so
just have it
wild.
up on Google. Either way, it's like it's got generally positive reviews, but for somebody who's a fan of the franchise, it just made no sense. And then immediately the next game, they went right back to how they used to do
They
things.
completely pivoted knowing
They were like,
that was a failure.
realized that this was a big mistake.
You know that the company that makes those, IOI, is doing the James Bond games.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I also feel like James Bond should be more action than it should be stealth, assassination type of vibe. That being said,
Well, we know they can do it. They did it for Absolution.
they made a bunch of James Bond games in like the early 2000s.
Oh, I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in Nightfall.
But I mean, like when Skyfall came out, when Spectre came out.
Oh, you're talking later.
Like when Daniel Craig's movies came out, and they literally just put those games in the Call of Duty engine. They're just Call of Duty James Bond games.
Really?
With a cover system. Yeah, that's what they are.
Damn. Did you play a Hitman 3, Nick, when it came out last year?
I've played all of 1 and I've played most of 2. I don't think I've played the new one.
It's really fun.
Yeah?
It's because it's one of those games where it's like, figure out how the hell you want to kill any person anyway.
Right. Well, it's like, for me, all of the new Hitman, they're just the same game, right? They're just new chapters, new levels in the same game.
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
Big booty hose.
Big booty
Big Booty Hose, the level.
The level.
All right, you guys ready for?
You're
I'm the last one, right?
I think so.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was on the wrong page.
Turn it up a little bit, Nick. Let's get a... Oh, no.
League of Legends.
I've never played League of Legends.
What?
Nope.
You've never played League of Legends, right?
No.
Okay. So League of Legends was...
That came out in 2012.
I believe it came out in 2011, but
2009.
2000. I think beta was 2009.
League of Legends 2012 is a Google search.
But
Season 2 World Championships. There you go.
There you go.
We'll make it work.
but I played it in 2012 when it came out.
So it's a 2012
That's
game.
a 2012 game
For me.
Not a 209.
So I started playing it, and man, it was a lot of fun in the beginning. But let me tell you something. That is the most toxic community that's ever existed in video games.
It's big.
Fucking bad. Like, to the point where like my friendships were tested on this game because like, all right, so not a hot take, it's the reality. My old group of friends didn't have a lot to live for. So
Outside of this game.
outside of
Not a hot take.
outside of playing video games.
Just gonna shit on these people. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, fuck them. So
Hey, don't talk about Danny that way.
so
We love you, Dan.
they would get super competitive in video games. Like, I like playing video games because I like to enjoy playing them. I like to relax, have fun, ramble on nonsense with my friends, and just, you know,
Have a beer, crack a beer.
yeah, pretty much smoke weed, have a good time, right?
Smoke some weed.
Smoke some weed, have a good time. But no, dude, like, as soon as League of Legends became competitive, they would not shut the fuck up about it. And it became like, we're all getting over. Are you coming over today, Pat? We're all gonna get around my TV and watch the pro leagues. It's like, what do you mean the pro leagues? Like, oh, the pro League of Legends players. And like, listen, that's fine. Like, but like, they call it esports for a reason because it's not
and this
actual
is
sport.
This is an esport
Yeah,
game.
like,
yeah.
And so they were like, we're watching these games like replay and everything, so we can study how this team works, what their counter is, how they do it, all this stuff and everything. And then they had this thing called the Quest for Diamond League, which was summer 2012. They were gonna play League of Legends nonstop till they got into the diamond bracket. And bro,
Meanwhile, they all sucked.
Well, not like they all suck, because they were, to be completely fair, they were decent. But the problem was that they weren't like incel good, like. So
The problem was they had lives.
so
Classic Rust
they
dilemma.
had something to live for. So when they didn't place, or they got kicked out of their, like, remember when we did ranked Halo and like I got kicked out of Diamond because I like just hadn't played in a while and I ate shit.
Right.
And I was like, God damn it, that sucks. This like ruined their fucking week. Like, they wouldn't, like, they'd be such fucking assholes about it. Like, they'd be like, this is fucking and like, to the point where we would troll other people by photoshopping somebody getting into plat or diamond and like sending it through the Discord server just
like,
to
yo,
watch
look what
them
I
get
got.
upset. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's like, yeah, but you did that to you painted a target on the back of your head by having this response to a fucking video game. You know, and not only that, you ruined playing this video game. Like I remember one time, like early on when we played, I got like I said, the meta's totally different because it's 10 years later. But I remember I had 5,000 health Cho'Gath like back in the day.
Sure.
And
What did you say?
and
He had a chode that was 5,000 health.
He had a goth chode?
cut by wrist and black by eyes. Anyway, so either way, my friend was like, no, that's actually like really hard to do, yada yada yada, right? I was like, okay, cool, I guess I'm good and we're having fun. A week went by and a YouTube video or two that they had watched, and then it became, you fucking suck it, like, why are you blowing this? You're not playing your fucking lane. God damn, like,
Right,
I remember,
you didn't, like, min-max
I remember
or
I
whatever
quit
bullshit.
halfway through the game, and then they told me I rage quit. They're like, yeah, well, because you rage quit. I was like, first of all, rage quit implies that I'm angry at the game, that the game is raging me.
I hate you.
Left because I hate you. That's what the problem is. It's because you are taking this game that they gave out for free and is supposed to be fun, and you're making me want to murder you through the screen. Like,
You're making me violent, and I'm not going to play
Exactly.
anymore.
and this was also the game that like all the fucking like elitist tools started to come out,
Yeah.
and they were like, oh, Call of Duty's for pussies. I wouldn't play that game. How could they ever make that game a thing? I
It's
would never touch that.
League is a strategy game.
Yeah,
Call of
exactly.
Duty is for barbarians.
League is a
like,
thinking man's game. Yeah, well, maybe you should start thinking about getting a girlfriend and getting
maybe
out of the
you should start
house,
thinking about
motherfucker.
getting some bitches.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And that's ungodly.
Maybe you should think about getting out of the house. You fucking idiot. When's the last time you took a shower, you piece of shit? You know?
No time to shower.
Yeah. This was the same person that didn't sleep for days while playing World of Warcraft and then got upset with us because he was cranky that he got no sleep.
Oh, there's a lot of overlap on like League and WoW.
For sure.
LOL,
League and
WOW.
Now, to be fair, I will still play League of Legends occasionally, but only ARAMs. I will not play normals.
What's ARAM?
All random, all mid. So it's
Okay.
just one lane and you just get whatever champion.
Sounds mid.
Yeah, it is mid. It is. And then, what's that other game? And then,
Goodwill Hunting, the game.
Goodwill Hunting. I stopped playing normals when duo top stopped being a thing, because the whole point of League of Legends is there's 3 lanes, right? You know, on Summoner's Rift, and there's jungles, right? So there's a jungler character who, like, you know, farms through the jungle and like protects the jungles, and then there's 3 lanes, you know, top, center, mid. Before jungle became like an actual part of the meta, we would do duo top, right? And that would be me and somebody else would have what I call a bush party, which is you hide in the bushes before the enemy players come. And like this was like, see, this was all fun, and I was playing with friends. And I remember the turning point was we queued with somebody who was playing Teemo, and at the time the phrase was Teemo's OP because he's what they call the ADCs, the attack damage carry, which means
Right.
you weaken the opponent, he gets the
just
kill,
walks in, yeah.
so he can level up quicker because he will be fucking unstoppable late game.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit about any of that. I was just killing people, and he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you killing them?" I'm like, "Cause I'm playing the game, bro." And he's like, "No, I'm the ADC. And I was just like, "Nah, fuck this. Like, this is exactly why I don't play these games."
That's the problem with all that shit where it's like, here's the thing. It's like when you reach that like tipping point of I'm deep in the meta and I've removed the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel at that, it's like you're not just like you're playing, you're having fun, you were doing bush parties. And it's like, that sounds great. But when you get to the point where it's like, no, I have to like, it's honestly almost like akin to speed running. You know, you're stripping out the like kind of like elements and like the fun and like the pizzazz of the game to just be like, what are the baseline things that I need to do?
But speedrunning is innocent. Like that, they're doing that. They're breaking the game on
Nobody
purpose.
else is getting harmed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Speedrunning is for an intent to, like, you know, get the best time. And I mean, you could say that this is an intent to get the best score and level up and everything. But it's like you've just broken the game down to like such a mathematical perspective that you're like,
yeah, where's your intrigue? Where's your fun? And the other thing is that, like I said, it bred such a toxic piece of shit community. Like that it's just these League of Legends dude bros that are like, well, I have to be the best at this game all the time, and da-da-da-da. And like it has since moved on. Like I don't believe it's as toxic as it used to be.
it's still
but
pretty
it's still
toxic.
pretty toxic. I'm not sure if it's as competitive as it used to be. However, it is still very much in the limelight of the competitive scene.
Okay, there's over 117 million players actively playing monthly.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still popular. I mean, like I have the client on mine, and they have since put out God, what's that game?
Goodwill Hunting, the game.
Goodwill Hunting, the game. That's right. You solve math
By
problems.
Telltale.
You solve math problems from the fucking hallway.
You're talking about
That's
crypto
a thinking
mining.
man's game right there.
God, what's that game they put out? They just ripped off Counter-Strike. Valorant.
Oh, Valorant. Okay.
And I remember, you guys, the League of Legends crowd, specifically one guy, would shit all over first-person shooters, all over Call of Duty games, because they're what he referred to as conventional, or what's the C word for what's the C word? No, what's the C word for like it's just average. You know what I mean?
I would say conventional.
Conventional,
Stereotypical. It's not a C word, but
contemporary, not contemporary. I forget what.
Complacent, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Either way, though,
it's just straightforward. It's like real.
yeah. Well, either way, that was his
copy-pasty,
criticism towards me, was that I like things that are very conventional because I listen to like Disturbed and I like Call of Duty and I like. So that was their whole thing.
Hating on shit people like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
It's just a fucking insecure hater is pretty much what it was. And so then we come up to when Valorant came out, because his whole thing was I don't think it was common either.
Commonplace?
No, I don't think it was that either. Either way, though, it got to the point where it was like you like first person shooters. That's a conventional. I don't play those conventional games. That's not what I'm about. They announced Valorant, and I ate him alive in the Discord.
Well.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess you can't play this game that these fucking commenters play. I have to go back and see what the actual word was. I was like, either way, though.
Yeah.
That was the crowd. Like, it totally turned my friends into the worst. And like, eventually they pulled themselves out of it. And like, now they realize it's for fun, like more than anything else. But they were the biggest piece of shits for a while when it came to gaming. Like, it was like, I won't play anything that doesn't have a competitive edge. I think single player games are useless. And then of course they got a single player game once everybody else did. And you know, one of those
Here
things.
we are.
Yeah, exactly. Here we are 10 years later, and I have a podcast that minimal people listen to, and I'm bitching about it into a microphone.
Thank you all so much for listening. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
All right.
Did you say conventional? Was that the word you were using?
Maybe. I don't know what it was. Oh, my God.
I don't know. Let's watch some people get hurt, though.
Yeah, for real. Let's do it.
So also, side note that has nothing to do with the show. I was watching Rust videos the other day while I was working midday.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And I was just like, gosh, I'm thinking about the house that we built in Rust the other day. I gotta pop in and just make sure nobody has raided us.
Oh no.
So I popped in and we had not yet been raided. But I was like, well, while I'm here and we cooked up some metal frags, let me just do a little upgrading. So I was in there the other day and I did some upgrading without you guys.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and after I upgraded, people thought it was as a threat.
No. I didn't expand the footprint of our base at all.
Right.
But the inside is a little bit nicer. Pat,
Can
just so you know, I had to kill you and I had to chop up your sleeping
You were
bag.
in the way, I'm sorry.
You were in the middle of the fucking room.
Nick, quick question.
None of this surprises me.
I made a new bag for you. You could pop
We got to put spikes on that ceiling.
No, there's going to be a second floor.
Okay. Speaking of second floor and people and Rust and people getting hurt and dying, maybe dying. Nick, you want to
Play that song?
Oh, okay.
play us into it?
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
Kind of a mild one.
Another car one.
Oh, do we have it up already?
I have it.
Oh, shit. You have your own?
Yes.
I sent you two also. So
Where?
They're in the Discord. So if you want, we could have a triple decker.
Triple clipper?
Just saying.
Oh, hold on. I've seen that first one that you sent. That going for a stroll.
That.
But yeah, I wanted to keep it this
100?
one. This was kind of funny. So
All right, let's.
so listen.
I got a lot in the backlog
if you
that I
can
want to
give me,
get rid
can
of.
you give me this camera real quick? You just cut to that. wrestling isn't real. It's horse shit.
baby girl.
It's a script.
Acting.
Vince McMahon writes it. Acting. And it's
his own personal fan fiction.
It's not a thing. He likes watching oiled up dudes jump all over each other. And
We do too.
so
here's the clip.
Don't do this because it's not real. You guys ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
I like that this is your disclaimer video.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
That
So this
hurt.
dude is in an open parking lot. He's standing
100%
on,
Florida.
yeah. Oh my god. Standing on top of his car, and then on the next to it on the ground is a dude who's laying on the card table. So of course, you're gonna do the wrestling thing where you're gonna dive from the top rope, jump on the dude laying down,
Why
and
are
then
they do it in a parking lot?
because it's Florida, and then this happens.
And like, here's the thing: he jumps off, and like, first of all, that is not the angle you want to hit that guy.
Went
at.
right into
right into the A.
what pose would you call
This,
that?
well, he's about to
Downward dog.
Down dog-esque, yeah.
He's gonna go from a downward dog to a scorpion real fast.
Oh,
like,
he scorpions
watch
hard.
it. right
Oh.
there. And
So he
like,
breaks the table and he just lands
And breaks
flat
his
on
face.
his fucking
on his face and his neck
On
and
the
like,
pavement.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god. That is straight up the logo from Ridiculousness.
It is, exactly.
That is the Ridiculousness. No, it sounds like the guy who on the table. Like, listen to the sound he makes. And like, but listen to the guy behind the camera.
We were all thinking it.
I mean, he's sitting up. He's
Sitting
not
there.
he's not paralyzed as far as we know.
Yeah, he's not paralyzed, but he's definitely
He's
thinking
in
about
shock
his life
right
choices
now.
right now.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Give it to me one more time.
Give it to me one more time. Oh, in reverse. Zhoo.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that backflip was great.
I love the fuck.
That's the only accurate response that you can actually have for that video. Oh my god. Whew.
Oh, that was good. I like that one. That was good.
Shit.
I don't have time for the other ones today, so we'll have them for
All
next week.
right, all right.
Just do like
All
a
right.
30-minute clip of the week one day. Like back
I've
to back.
got a lot ready to go.
All right. So with that said, thanks so much for tuning in this week. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you're listening to this on any of the major podcast apps, go ahead and leave us a review. And we appreciate you tuning in every single week or just this week. And if you got this far, hats off to you.
Don't jump off your car.
Don't jump off your car. It's not a good idea. It's not the place you want to
And
be.
don't forget, always pull out when you're with 15 guys.
Always pull out when you're with 15 guys. You never want to leave that shit in.
Have a good week, everyone.